It's a full-on meeting.
It is now 2:02, and I call the, what date is it? The
20th.
December 20th Planning Board meeting to order. We don't have our usual schedule. We have two items on the agenda. One is the approval of the 797 Main Street LLC site plan. And are there any questions? We have the motion before us. I suppose we should read the motion first and then see if there are any questions. Would you do the honors, Bob?
I haven't got them.
Well,
Do you have the clean
It's-
copy, Bob?
No, I have one with the,
it's Dear Rod.
yeah.
There's a second one there,
There is?
that part, cross that.
If it pleases the chair, I'll read the
Yeah.
red
Yeah,
line version,
please do.
if you don't mind.
Second one is,
At its meeting of December 20th, 2019, the planning board voted to approve the revised site plan for 797 Main Street LLC under Article 39 Site Plan Review of the zoning bylaw for the construction of a mixed-use structure with a 44-seat restaurant to be applied as either 44 indoor seats or 32 indoor seats and 12 outdoor seats on the first floor, and 3 residential units above as depicted on the site plan, architectural plans entitled Proposed Restaurant and Residential Apartments at 797 Main Street, Falmouth, Mass., prepared by Chuba Engineering, dated November 21, 2019, revised through, and that is not on that, revised through December 16, 2019, because we just got the plan in today after we drafted the motion. Findings: the applicant, 797 Main Street LLC, is seeking to redevelop a former Cumberland Farms convenience store and gas station as a mixed-use development. The applicant is proposing to raise the existing structure utilizing the L-shaped foundation with a modification to add 836 square feet of floor space to the first, second, and upper floors, and to construct 2.5-story buildings with approximately 1,850 square feet of building footprint. Proposed development will include a 44-seat restaurant to be applied as either 44 indoor seats or 32 indoor seats and 12 outdoor seats on the first floor, and 3 two-bedroom dwellings on the upper floors. The parcel map 47B 09014B 019 is zone business redevelopment and contains 18,749 square feet of lot area. The applicant has engaged abutters along the south, west, and east side of the property to establish the above-mentioned parking and circulation agreement. We are striking that. The abutter has engaged the abutters on the west side of the property, period. Because they certainly engaged them. As you see, we have a memorandum from Mr. Chuba as well. The board will condition the decision accordingly. The engineering division's referral dated April 17, 2019 outlines open and new comments that can be addressed administratively, along with the submission of new plans reflecting engineering's comments. The planning board will condition its decision accordingly. In a referral from wastewater superintendent, the applicant will need to request a variance under the town's flow neutral bylaw. A written request for the termination of the flow neutral bylaw to the Board of Health and the wastewater division is necessary to initiate the process. In the water department's referral dated February 11, 2019, the applicant will need to upgrade service piping to the water department standards, requiring a minimum 1-inch polyethylene line in lieu of the proposed 1-inch copper service. The applicant will need to submit an application to the water department as well as coordinate timing of the proposed service upgrade with the replacement of the water main in Main Street at and around this location. The board finds that the proposed landscaping plan is compliant with Article 24 and shall require that the applicant maintain the plantings as conditioned below. The planning board's review does not include building code review, and the board refers to the building commissioner as to issues related to the building code. The planning board would like to thank the applicants for revising the plans and elevations based upon the board's review and comment. Conditions: 1, the plan shall be constructed as approved. Any changes will be reviewed by the planning board at a public meeting to determine if a modification of the decision is necessary. Pursuant to 24183B, the zoning bylaw, no permit for full or partial occupancy will be issued until the planning board is satisfied with the conditions of this approval have been met. Upon substantial completion of the project in accordance with Section 24193C, the applicant will be required to submit an as-built plan for review by the board, planning department staff, prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit. The applicant shall obtain an approved driveway permit or street opening permit, and Post any required bond with the engineering division prior to the start of construction. The applicant shall complete the work as approved by the engineering division in the approved permit. The applicant will need to submit revised plans addressing engineering's revisions regarding open and new comments pertaining to the submission's revised plans. See referral dated April 17, 2019. The landscaping shall be installed in accordance with the above referenced plans and shall be maintained in a healthy state. The applicants provide bike racks in at least one location. Revised plans will reflect this request. The restaurant shall consist of a total of 44 seats to be utilized as either 44 indoor seats or 32 indoor seats and 12 outdoor seats for a total of 44 seats. Sincerely, Tom Spot, Town Planner.
Second, please.
Second?
Any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor?
Oh, wait a second.
What?
Isn't there a letter from the butter that you've received to the other board? Is the board aware of this issue or not? Have all
It
board
isn't-
members
it-
seen the letter from the butter?
No.
You might want to listen to this. Because it's relevant to what we heard at the hearing. There's a different point of view from the abutter.
Well, you have in your packet the email from Hal Chuba. As you're reviewing that, I will bring up the email from the abutter.
That didn't make the file?
It is not in the file.
Okay.
This is an email from Eli Jamal of yesterday, 10:55 a.m. Mr. Chuba, this is not an email that I like to write. However, it just came to my attention that you have drastically changed the site plan design without my knowledge. On October 10, I sent you an email requesting that you share with me any changes prior to finalizing the site plan. I have not heard from you, and you have also not shared with me any proposed changes that you were seeking. The only conversation we had is that you will not be using additional parking on Cycle Avenue, as indicated to me that otherwise everything will remain the same. After reading the site plan filed but approved by the planning board, I realize that it's not the case. Your new design is not acceptable to me. It is a violation of the easement and the easement agreement accorded, as you know. Please redesign the site plan as required under the terms of easement agreement and the site plan attached to the agreement. Thank you. So I think Mr. Chuba recognizes that in his memorandum and his email to us. We've had a discussion in-house with council and believe that the disagreement between the party owners is a civil matter. He's got a site plan approved for his property, but no one else's property.
Does everybody understand that? Yep. Okay.
I think,
My issue is we heard testimony that doesn't match up with what the facts are.
Once more.
But it is a civil matter,
Yeah.
not a planning board matter. I just want to make sure you all knew that. I was surprised it wasn't in our file, but
Well, anyway,
it is what it is.
is everybody okay? They understand that it's their dispute. It has nothing to do with our
Correct.
approval of the site plan.
And that's been confirmed by town council.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay, so it's 6 of us in favor, and Charlotte is absent today.
that was 600.
600, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we move on. You're all aware from our last meeting that Paul had written a letter in regard to the Lewis Neck plan, and we had discussed it. And his last paragraph says, "Therefore, I respectfully suggest that the Falmouth Planning Board request that the Falmouth Housing Trust Board of Directors review the Lewis Neck Road application process to date, and in the future, consider a more professional approach to projects that are presented to the Falmouth Planning Board." So we discussed, and we did not make any decision as to whether the letter should be forwarded to the Falmouth Housing Trust. Paul?
I'd like to make a comment, if I will.
Please.
Concerning this project, Town Council provided a covenant with conditions as a solution to this issue, which was executed by both parties on December 7, 2019. I originally wrote the letter of concern to the chairman of the planning board expressing my concerns on the actions of the Falmouth Housing Trust representatives. Since that time, the chairman has discussed the matter with the town manager with her specific concerns. He attended the planning board meeting of December 17th and expressed his support for the town planner, department staff, and the planning board. As the chairman of the Board of Selectmen recently stated on the 13th of December, this is an issue of fairness in a way that someone cannot respond to, but particularly town employees. Finally, in my opinion, I believe that it is now time for the planning board to move on. as it appears to be unnecessary to pursue this further with the Falmouth Housing Trust. I welcome your comments.
Comments?
So you're suggesting you don't send it? That it's done and,
Well, the issue's been resolved. It was unfortunate. It was raised at the highest level of the town. I think everyone is aware of it. If the board of the Falmouth Housing Trust wants to look into it further, there's some very qualified people on that board, they can look into it. But if we continue this, we're never gonna get past it, so I'm just suggesting that it's time to move on. If you feel otherwise, please let me know.
What do you mean by continue it? We're just gonna send the letter because it's the past behavior that we're addressing.
That's fine.
And I think they
Any
already
other-
have a copy of the letter now anyways.
Well, they do now, yes, because they,
Yeah.
having this on the agenda, they came in, according to Tom, and got a copy of the letter.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think we should make it official.
and send it.
and send it anyways, yeah.
Okay, Pam?
well, I guess one of my questions is, how do they move beyond this when the next issue arises and the next plan comes in? I mean, it's fine to say, this has been resolved and we're not gonna deal with it, but what about, there's gonna be another house that will come before us, or another plan for affordable housing that the trust will be involved with. And I think, as I told Pat before the meeting on Tuesday, that I obviously couldn't come to, that my concern is that I want to depend on our town council. I want to be able to know that our town council has reviewed and come up with a sound response to whoever the petitioner is. And I personally didn't feel that way after the presentation. And I felt that the opposing attorney actually ran the show. And I just think it's important for us to always have, and our town planner, always be in charge, and this board be in charge, and not allow a petitioner to take over. But most importantly, that town council can protect us. I mean, that's what we have town council for, is to protect the boards and come up with a sound response to an opposing or a petitioner. And when I walked out of here, I didn't feel that that was resolved at all. And so I just want to know going forward that they will have enough respect and will work in a congenial and productive manner and not in a confrontive manner. So, Paul, I thought your letter was terrific, and I
Thank you.
thought you got right to the point. And I think it's really up to you whether you want this to move ahead or you're done with it. But it shouldn't be. I mean, this was your letter, and I think it should be really partially or mostly up to you whether you want to send it.
John, do you have any comments?
I think if they didn't already have a copy, I wouldn't want to send the letter, but they already have a copy, so what's the difference?
Oh, they do? Okay, never mind.
They stopped into the office and picked one
Right.
up today.
Okay, never mind.
So I think it doesn't matter.
It's like I said, I think we should make it official. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because in light of transparency, if they're going up to the office to get a copy, it should be on the record that we allowed that to happen.
Okay. Jim?
I think there's just slightly bigger picture. First of all, I abstained from this whole thing, but I just want to say on the bigger picture, I believe these last two issues, we now are going to have to start fact-checking what people say in front of us. Because after the fact, we find out things are different. That's pretty hard to deal with. And it's happening with a greater frequency. And that's just the end of my comment.
Okay.
You're right.
So, I personally think that we should go on record, since they're on record all over the place with their comments, that we should go on record that we were disappointed. And we would like them to review what their personnel did. This can be the end of it. It's just putting it on record that we're saying, take a look at it, folks. And next time you come before us, do a better job of it. but it is Paul's letter. And on the other hand, it is public because it was sent to me as the chairman of the planning board, and then it became public record.
Right.
So, to put it to rest one way or the other, we have a motion here, and we can either vote it up or vote it down.
A motion, I move, following the discussion of the Lewis Neck Road process at the planning board meeting of December 17, 2019, that Mr. Dreyer's letter to Chairman Pat Kerfoot on December 7, 2019, to be forwarded to the Falmouth Housing Trust.
Is there a second?
Good.
It's been moved and seconded that the letter be sent forward to the Falmouth Housing Trust with no further comment, just forward it, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm just going to abstain.
Abstain. Okay, so there are 5 of us in favor of it and 1 abstention. Yeah, Jim voted in
voted.
favor.
Oh, okay.
I voted for you. Thank you.
I thank
I
you
really
for
think it's
writing it, Paul.
important, just that, but we need to move beyond this. And it's been raised to the highest levels of the town. It's been addressed by the town manager. It's been public, although I didn't see anything in the paper today about it. But I think people are well aware of it, but it's probably a good idea to go on record.
Yeah, that's
I
the
agree.
point of this.
Yeah.
That we're saying enough, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, truly.
And I'd like to say also, it's a good thing all our things are televised, because every comment that everybody made at those meetings, if they don't,
That's right.
they can see it on FCTV, they could go look at it, and what they said, they said.
Except for this one.
This one's on too.
This one's on
Oh, is it?
too.
Oh, yeah, that's why. But,
Is that like
but
fact
Tom's
checking?
made, yeah, well, Tom's made it clear, this is transparent.
Okay, is there anything else?
Yes, one
Ah,
final
you
thing.
lost your
Have
pen,
a Merry
Tom.
Christmas.
Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year too.
Happy New Year,
Right, we
too.
won't be back before then,
Thank
officially.
God.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yes,
Oh, that's right, Kwanzaa.
absolutely, because that's coming up in a week or so, isn't it?
Yep.
A week and a half, I think.
Any holiday
Okay.
you want to add in here?
By the
Did we
official
cover them all?
clock, it is
Should
now,
have a holiday for real estate developers that we can celebrate.
it is now 2:19.